1/3 of the US population is now using social networking sites, which is more than any place around the world. Facebook now has more than 400 million users worldwide. If Facebook were a country, the number of users would be the equivalent of the third most populated nation in the world, behind China and India. Facebook was created as a way for students to stay connected within their friends, but as it grew, non-profits began to set up an application as a way to connect with volunteers. Imagine you're in a grocery line with a full cart of groceries and you realize you don't have any money. How does that relate to social networking, Facebook, and thousands of dollars of donations to a charity?
As one does, in 2009, I hopped on Facebook and made a posting saying, just paid for a stranger's $207 Trader Joe's bill with a promise of a check, and vacillating between feeling really, really good and very, very stupid. August of 2009, I was at Trader Joe's and in line with my children, and a woman ahead of me had lost her wallet. She was trying to pay for a big cart of groceries and had no way to do so. And I tapped her on the shoulder and honestly, in pretty much a knee-jerk reaction, just said, hey, if I pay for your groceries, will you send me a check? And the next day, I received a check from her for $300 and just a lovely note saying, thank you so, so much for trusting me and for helping me out in a really bad situation. Please do something nice for yourself, get a massage with the extra money, because there was an additional $93 over what I had paid for her. And again, I got on Facebook and posted that I had gotten an extra, the check with an extra $93, and put it to my friends, what would you guys do with the money? I know what I'm going to do. Very quickly, people came back with, give it to charity. Again, pretty quickly, people came back with, this all happened around food. How about Second Harvest Food Bank? Because of Facebook and the interconnectivity of everybody, it was like a wave that just went out, kind of starting from one person and then from two and just going. And literally it ended up getting sent around the world, and people all over the planet, people sending me messages back saying things like, wow, I never knew that Americans were hungry. Every dollar donated becomes 2 meals. And I set a goal for myself of raising $93,000.
How much money have you raised?
At the moment, so it's now the end of April, we have raised almost $83,000. So we are $10,000 shy of this goal.
So what do you think about social networking?
Social networking to me is certainly a powerful, powerful force in the world. That said, when it comes together in a way as it has for the $93 Club, we could never, ever, ever have raised the amount of money and been able to have the impact on for the food bank without something like Facebook.
Now millions of users access social networking sites through their mobile devices, and the idea of sending text messages has turned into another popular social networking, Twitter. It's often known as short service message of the internet, called tweets. Now many news organizations find Twitter extremely helpful, and ABC7 has their own Twitter queen.
I don't know that I agree with this nickname. I think that was bestowed upon me because I have helped a lot of people in the newsroom understand how social media plays a role in news gathering, and I also help manage breaking news. So in a breaking situation, my proximity to the assignment desk ensures that I can keep the website up to date with the most current information. With Twitter, there's an immediacy that happens. Twitter is right now, it's in the moment, a wide breadth of coverage that we can say, we're in San Francisco, but here's what's happening up in Marin County, here's what's happening over in East San Jose. In the morning, people, when they're starting their day, they're things that they want to know. They want to know what's the traffic going to be for their commute and what's the weather going to be for that day. People love to send us a picture of hail or snow or flooding. Rainbows people love to send us pictures of rainbows. And people generally care when police officers are involved in accidents. So we were able to spread that. And then also, if we were looking for information, say we didn't have a camera crew available to be at the scene, or we weren't going to be there very soon, we might ask maybe someone who was stuck in traffic, send us a picture, and we keep a breaking news account. And then we can use that picture both on air and online. We have just under 9,000 followers, which is actually, we're one of the most followed stations in the market. Interactivity and reciprocal relationship that social media has really helped develop, that it used to be that you you watched the news and the news told you what the news was. And now I think people really enjoy being able to feel that they've contributed and that they have a more personal relationship with their local news.
But the social media brings a growing concern among users because of their personal data being used by advertisers. But in the marketing perspective, it's a different story.
I don't think it's inherent to social media. I think that I think it's important to have the right privacy controls. After all, we can choose to participate. But let's start with ourselves. I think we have a personal responsibility to act responsibly when we engage in these different channels and be careful about what we share and fully understand what we're doing and do the research.
So what do you think about the future of social media?
But I think the future is here, and I think that everything that we've seen imagined in movies, I think is going to happen. The technology is there. I think now it's about culturally being ready for it, but ultimately it's going to be about connecting in richer and richer ways based on real data, things like walking by billboards and having them be relevant to you as you walk by, using RFID to send you a special promotion. It's going to be about all those types, very real time, very intimate, all about you, very rich experiences.
Facebook and Twitter serve different purposes, each providing different ways to communicate. But if there's one common thing for all social media, it's that they'll continue to have significant social evolution around the globe.